Good morning. Let's have a little talk about resilience. Adjective. Able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. 2. A substance or object able to recoil or spring back into shape after bending, stretching, or being compressed. Psychologists define resilience as the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or significant sources of stress, such as familial and relationship problems, serious health problems, or workplace and financial stressors. Resilience is really important in life. We all go through things that cause us stress and scarring. We all go through difficult and trying times. Even just trying to juggle everyday life can be stressful and trying. Different people have different levels of stress threshold. The amount of stress and difficulties that they can shoulder at any given time before they reach their breaking point. The ability to shoulder great stresses, to stand tall like a big tree in a rough storm, to bend and not break and bounce right back afterward, the quickness with which you can bounce back to level ground after a trying and difficult time is your resiliency. Resiliency is a muscle that can be built. It is a skill that can be learned. If you have a low level tolerance to stress and are slow to recover from difficult circumstances and bounce back, you can work on this. You can learn this. You can build this up. You can focus in this area in your life and become better equipped to withstand the storms and difficulties and stress in life, better manage your stress, and rebound more quickly back to level footing after you've dealt with difficulties and issues, even if they are long-standing, even if they are permanent, like a health condition, to be able to endure it as successfully and effectively as possible. Level-headed, level emotions, effective behavior, as not to put yourself or your life back any farther. The 7 steps to building resilience are, most importantly and first, you have to cultivate the belief that you can cope. You have to have a inherent self-belief that you can endure whatever comes your way. That you are strong enough and capable enough to handle whatever life throws at you. If you don't believe it, you won't even try. You'll buckle under the pressure far more easily if you don't believe it. So first, you've got to cultivate a belief that you can cope. Don't define yourself as the type of person who falls apart. Be careful how you define yourself. Be careful how you define the problems. And cultivate a way to cope. Second, it's very helpful, camera keeps turning, to cultivate a support system. Having a support network helps us get through dark and difficult times. When you have to go through anything alone, or you feel like you have to go through something alone, you have a support network. Let's say you're in a domestic violence situation, you feel like you have to keep it to yourself, or you have an eating disorder or an addiction, you feel like you have to keep this secret to yourself. We're as sick as our secrets. If there's something you feel guilt, shame, protection hiding from, it's likely something you need to fix, address, and deal with. It's likely something you need to seek help for, that you can't shoulder on your own. If you feel overwhelmed by it and you feel the need to have to hide it, that's likely something that you most need support for. But having a strong support network is definitely going to help you to be more resilient, because they can help you support your stresses, limit your stresses, take some stresses off your plate when things get a little rough. You can bounce ideas off of them about ways to cope with the situation. You can brainstorm. You can have supports and escape routes and people to help get you aid for addiction, eating disorders, or other situations that you come upon in life. And if you are having trouble coping, they can help get you resources outside of just the friendship. Practical, psychological, etc. Financial, whatever resource you may be in need of. Having a support network makes us feel better, like we're not doing this alone, like we have a safety net to fall on. But it's also very practically helpful in us enduring life's difficulties and bouncing back more readily. We also have some people to look forward to and to count on, to be there for when the crisis is over. I kind of included one of the steps. 3 is to talk about what's going on. Don't keep secrets. Share the problem. Share the difficulty. It eliminates stress and gives you more ideas. Also, you can direct some of that anger, frustration, tension, anxiety, distress toward helping other people. That's a very positive and effective way to cope through difficult circumstances, and will build up your tolerance to stress and your resilience, because it refocuses your mind on other people that are in worse or more difficult or their own difficult situations. You want to activate positive emotions any way possible. Spending time with that support network, watching a funny comedy, jamming out to some music. Preferably music has high emotional content, so things that are not going to make you sad. Happy music, happy movies, laughter, helping others, anything that makes you happy, going out, going on a trip, going out on a walk, playing in the garden, playing a musical instrument, drawing, crafts, whatever adds joy to your life. You wanna dive into those things whether you feel like it or not, because they are cathartic during difficult circumstances. It's also a helpful way to cope. And learning helpful coping mechanisms is key to becoming more resilient and enduring difficult times with less damage and more capacity to bounce back. The less damage you incur, the quicker you bounce back. You want to cultivate an attitude of being a survivor. Think about all the things you've overcome in your life thus far. I've said this in a few videos now. To get to where you are right now, you are a survivor. Think of all the battles you've already won. Don't think of yourself as weak or small. Again, those self-definitions. Cultivate the attitude. It goes hand in hand with cultivating the attitude that you can get through it. Is cultivating the definition of I am a survivor. I fight back. I win. You can kick me, you can knock me down, but I will get back up again and again and again and again, as many times as it takes. I will stand on my feet and I will beat this. Also, if you can find meaning in your suffering, meaning in the situation, see it as a lesson or a blessing somehow, that there's a reason behind this, that can help you endure difficult times. But resilience is key in life because we all face these difficult times. And the less resilient you are, every time you get one step forward, you get kicked 5 steps back. You fall farther, faster, and it takes you longer to get caught up, and everyone else in the life that you had is just whirling on. Time is passing, and you're still over here, down here, knocked back. And it takes you a long time to catch up, and you can't catch back up to where you were. You can't catch up to everyone else. You can't catch up to your family and your friends and the life that was surrounding you, because you can't rebound. It takes you a long time to rebound, and that has ramifications to your whole life. Everyone has to endure difficulty, and everyone has to endure stress. The better coping skills you have, the better equipped you'll be to endure stress more effectively and take less of a knock. You'll take 1 step back instead of 3. And because you're only 1 step back, you'll rebound faster. So a key to resilience is to not get knocked down so far by it, by effectively using coping strategies. Learn effective coping skills. Cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy really works to teach coping skills, particularly dialectical behavioral therapy. If you really think you're lacking in coping skills and resiliency, you could inquire about dialectical behavioral therapy. You can just click away on the internet and look up coping skills and practice them at home, and stress management techniques, and practice those at home. I'll link below to my stress management videos on my mindfulness playlist. And the reason why I'm getting into, and my video on building resilience, practice to build resilience, the reason why I'm getting into resilience in the quote video that's now run too long, and I'm rambling, and I'm so sorry. I've been sick, I'm behind on my videos, so I'm just throwing at the wall and seeing what sticks. Nothing if I'm not authentic. I don't know whether you fully understand that I have just been shot, but it takes more than that to kill a bull moose. Every single person that you see walking around this planet has just been shot. You are not the only one who's dealt with extreme circumstances. Everyone does. They just have different crosses to bear. But the ways in which they cope and the strength of their resilience is what ends up determining where they stand afterward. After they've been shot, after they've been kicked to the ground, after the storm has passed, after the difficulty is done, after the crisis and stressors have been endured, how are they holding up? And how quickly can they rebound? Are you a bull moose? I want to be a bull moose. I want to take a shot and be able to stand right back up and say it takes more than that to kill me. I'm resilient, I'm a survivor, I have a support network. Help other people, validate yourself, trigger positive emotions, reach for your coping skills, develop coping skills, stress management techniques, practice building resilience, because sooner or later you're going to get shot. Likely you've already been shot. And you'll get shot again. And every time it kicks us back a few notches in life. And we don't want to get so far gone that we can't get back up, or we can't catch back up to where we could be, where we should be, where we want to be, where everyone else is. I think that was good enough for a last minute video. I hope. Okay, goodbye, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you see this. Have a good day. Don't get shot. Don't get kicked. Don't get knocked down by life. If it does, remember, you're a bull moose. This quote was actually said by Theodore Roosevelt just after surviving an assassination attempt. So he literally was shot. But he had self-determination and strong resilience. And you can too. If you don't, you can learn it because it's a skill. And all skills can be acquired.